Toni Storm and Jamie Hayter for the interim women's championship. And this audience, they were here to see MJF win, and they were here to see Jamie Hayter win. And dude, that theme song hits, and man, we got the
Braden Davey,
the Poison Rana Jersey Shore crew down there.
Shout out Poison Rana, everybody! You will hear all about it on Tuesday. But
I really like the logo.
They are now known as Poison Rana.
Check them out. So big chant for Jamie Hayter at the beginning, and she rams Toni Storm into the rail. It was Hayter dominating at the beginning, very aggressive. And then there's a headbutt, and Storm just collapses on top of Hayter. Rebel comes down ringside, and then Storm is busted up. It looked like the nose that she was bleeding from. And then there's a belt shot by Rebel, and it's Hayter with a DVD onto her knee for a 2 count, and Rebel gets called out and ejected by the referee, so she's sent to the back. From there, Hayter, this was a great spot. So Hayter is like retreating from Storm into the rope in perfect position for a hip attack, but she's able to see Storm coming, so she moves out of the way. So Storm does the hip attack, but misses and flies to the floor. It was just like a natural movement that was this great elaborate sequence that played into like the hip attack. And from there, Britt Baker comes down and she attacks, leads to a pile driver by Hayter for a 2 count, then a Storm Zero by Toni. Like they're both doing Storm Zeros to the other, kicking out of them. We're into the near falls, audience is reacting, and then Britt Baker removes the turnbuckle padding. And you're thinking, she's gonna cost Jamie Hayter and have a plausible, like she was trying to help, but it's so Hayter is run into the buckle, but then ends up doing a reversal, sending Storm into the exposed buckle, and lands the ripcord clothesline and pins Toni Storm. I thought the twists and turns at the end were like really compelling. And I legitimately, I didn't know which way they were going to go. Like they built in a ton of great false finishes, and right up until the end, until the ripcord was hit. And then it was like, okay, this is the coup de grace at the end.
Yeah. I certainly couldn't predict this one, and I predicted it wrong. Like I thought they were going to continue with Hayter and Baker without the championship, and I thought, they'd keep the belt on Storm a bit longer for Thunder Rosa, but they struck while this in maybe one of the best crowds that I think Jamie Hayter has had, and maybe they should be kind of thankful for it, because I questioned whether or not that time had passed. I questioned whether or not they had missed their peak. Not tonight. Newark was like almost 100% in.
Very strong Hayter from these two. And I'll say I was really impressed with Jamie Hayter at the press conference. She should be doing more talking. Yeah. Like she is very personable, and I'm listening to her. It's like I've never heard her talk this much at length. She needs to be talking more.
Agreed.
Like, and I don't necessarily, they have something with her.
Well, I don't necessarily even know if it should be like wrestling promos. Like she kind of like she sounds very real in that like when she's speaking, you don't get the sense she's performing. Like you get the sense she's just actually kind of speaking as herself from the heart. And that's kind of refreshing. She kind of almost like gives the vibe that like she doesn't care, but it's like she doesn't care because the question was, were you like how did you feel when you won the championship? Like did you? And she said like she thought she would cry, but she didn't. She just she just.
I like of all the wrestlers they brought out, I found her to be the most interesting.
I got the sense like she was saying that because like she's that confident. Like she knows she should be champion. So by the time she has it, it just feels natural.
Yeah, and you've got a lot of great stuff here with Britt.
The Britt stuff was interesting. Like you probably noticed more detail in the end of the match that I didn't. Like I'm very curious, especially watching on TV, if there were like any sort of close-ups in Britt Baker's like facial reactions to indicate where her allegiances truly lie.
Yeah.